see here. Hmm.
We got rare spirits, and not the kind that want to haunt you.
Hmm. Ooh. Let's see here.
What'll it be? Something hard? Something harder?
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot what I was looking for, man. This shit. Oh, that's why I kept this, because of that fucking defense, that removal of buff. I wonder about that. I was wondering why I kept the defense thing, but it's the buff. It's the fucking buff removal. That's why I fucking have that shit on there.
Come to view the requests? Here it is. What do you think? Come again. Very well. You have my aid. Yes. Can I help you? Here it is. I can make the arrangements at once. Please be careful.
We got rare spirits, and not the kind that
Give it what it wants. Crushed sandwiches. Come to the soup and decide.
Right.
We've got lunch specials. Good food, good prices.
Bah.
Your stomach growling? Give it what it wants.
Let us proceed with due care.
Bah. Fucking stupid.
Come, let's end this. Quick before they run. The essence of the veil. Very well. There's no escape. Don't let it escape. There's no escape. Up you. Oh, hammer of fury. There's no escape. Very well. Wise decision. The essence marvelous. There's no escape. Up you. The essence of the very well. Look at the size of it. We'll blast it. Don't let it escape. Up you. Not with empty. The essence of the veil. Very well. The essence of the veil. Up you. The essence of the veil. Tell me. Very well. There's no escape. Oh, hammer of fury! essence of you. Goodbye. The essence of the veil. Light my way. The essence of the veil. There's no escape. Very well. Oh, spirit legend! There's space to fly left, right? Up to it! The essence of the veil. Goodbye. The essence of the veil. Very well. There's no escape. Up here. Mjolnir. Don't let it escape. Decision. There's no escape. Very well. The essence of the veil. Up here. There's no escape. Prepare to be dazzled. The essence of the veil. Make sure you get them all. Up here. Dive off. Goodbye. Session now. That was a blast. You were amazing.
Yes, right. Would you take this one? Please be careful.
It's never too early to enjoy life.
Is your stomach growling? Give it what it wants.
Oh dear.
Crushed sandwiches. Come to the soup and decide.
Let us proceed with due care.
Now, I'll prepare to wait before they run! Into the smallest of pieces! There's no escape. Look at the size of that cool blossom! Don't let it escape! The essence of the veil is here! I got you! There's no escape. Oh, very good! Income! The butterfly. Very well. The essence of the veil. Up here. Look at the size of that cool blossom. Don't let it escape. The essence of the veil. Up here. There's no escape. Goodbye.
Overdo it.
Up here! Goodbye! The essence of the veil! Look at the size of that cool blossom! Don't let it escape! There's no escape!
On wings of radiance, like tissue.
The essence of the veil. Break them into the smallest of pieces. There's no escape.
I have you.
The pond settles. Picture the ass.
Adieu. Prepare to be dazzled. Look at very well. Watch it. Don't let it escape. There's still some dry breath, right? Let's do it. Adieu. The essence of the veil. Very well. There's no escape. Adieu. The essence of the veil. Very well. There's no escape. Go, go, go! Nestle! Mjolnir! Goodbye. The essence of the veil.
No way out.
I've got you. There's no escape. Fast push. Make sure you get them all. The essence of the veil. Now, that was a lovely finish. You were amazing.
These eyes have never failed me. Yeah?
Oh, I forgot about this. No, I gotta start this over because that hits. Attack up and skill damage up are pointless. I need somebody to ask a question about that. Maybe that guide mentioned something about it. Ooh. You know what? There's one more thing I want to look at before I fucking try to do something. Really? I understand that, but Crimson Nightmare being. I'm looking at this shit. Maybe it's because the slow gets shrugged too hard. Where is she? I see. So they don't. I guess they don't always take the slow because they're slow as ass. And the skill I thought was worth it is fucking even better than I thought. Okay, no, it has to do with the timing. Okay. Yeah, because that motherfucker just instantly shrugged that slow, bro. And I don't know if it was just him or what. Removing debuffs doesn't mean anything during the fucking dragon, so I can probably swap out fucking Force Slot for that shit. Mm, 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 mm. There's no fucking way, man. I spelled it wrong. I don't know why these two both punish you for fucking doing shit. Why are you putting it in that order? What the hell is this? Why is that a thing? Mm. Wait, that's pointless. Mm.
Is your stomach growling? Give it what it
Damn, I used a lot of those.
Yes, can I help you? Come again. Hello, have a nice day. Yes, can I help you?
I trusted only my fists. If you wish to reach transcendence, you must beat out the path with your own knuckles. Which is why when my fists began to tremble in anticipation, I listened. It was as if they whispered, "A terrible future awaits these skies. Fail to act. An unprecedented calamity will befall you." How could they know? In truth, they knew more than most scholars, having experienced the rigors of fundamental aesthetic practice. I tempered them relentlessly, so they could foretell which timeline would lead them to the most strength. But you may ask, how far can one go with omnipotent fists? A foolish question. Only cowards measure progress in distance, in achievement. Blood boils through these fingers. That is all I need to know. Ah, I feel the fire raging inside. The storm has arrived. And I shall catch it with my bare hands. divinity above, I wish you no ill will, but your defeat shall be evidence of my life's work. Vow recited, I ended the evening's meditation. Decades of such ascetic training had finally borne fruit. I had honed the Eternal Raid style to a godlike edge. But the long years had also revealed to me an enemy I could never defeat. Time itself. My inevitable demise meant there would be no more Eternal Raid style. I had developed the greatest martial art the skies had ever known. But for it to be lost to legend, what profound injustice. I would need a disciple. Someone worthy of inheriting my technique. Of course, coal is not transformed into diamond so easily. It would be a fool's errand to find a successor who could survive the necessary time and rigor. Thus, when I finally met the captain, I was happy to be that fool. Now I could pass on my legacy. But the captain had another goal in mind, to reach Estalucia and reunite with dear old Papa. Filial piety was a respectable tenet, but it was no god-shattering fist. Despite my pleas, I failed to convince the captain to become my pupil. However, something must have resonated with the young master, because I received an invitation to join the Grand Cypher's crew. If I could not produce a scion of eternal rage, at least I would gain new allies. Walking aboard the airship, my fists buzzed. Ah! So there would be something more to this meeting after all. Worthy Captain, I choose to fight by your side for the glory of the crew, for the glory of reaching Estalucia. And after we return, we shall discuss your future with the Eternal Raid style in earnest.
You heard all the stories about the old man, right?
I could hardly believe my ears. Ripping the Grim Basin apart with a single punch? Joining a war just so he could spar? And defeating both sides? Knocking over a whole mountain just from turning in his sleep? I call BS. And just like crap, there was probably a kernel of truth in there somewhere, but come on, who believes this stuff? Turns out, idiots like me. See, I've actually witnessed Gondagoza smash a meteor into space dust. You think people will catch on to that story too?
Of course they will. Why else do people go to the pub? Man's favorite pastime is recounting tales of people braver than themselves.
But it's so hard to believe, and I saw him do the damn thing. So, yep, though the old master's legends were numerous, and honestly downright ridiculous, they were also the truth. What's crazier, Gonda would never toot his own horn. After crushing a dragon with a sneeze or what have you, he'd just say, "Ah." Yep, actions speak louder than words. That's a real man's man for you. You gotta admire that. What I would give for his rippling biceps, though. Looking back now, none of us could have known. There, in the Zeka Grande Skydom, Gondagoza was about to use those rippling biceps to start a whole brand new mythos.
Sierra gave us the news. A lone brawler managed to stop a force of hundreds atop Mount Nagelith, all while quelling a raging blizzard with his bare hands? I'm not a betting man. Well, I'm not a drinking man. But, well, I'm not a man who bets when he drinks. But I'd put good money on our brawler being Gondagoza. It hadn't been that long since we sailed to Zeka Grande, so the old badger must have been working overtime for word to spread so quick. I asked Sierra to spill the details. The force he scattered was a group of soldiers, remnants of the Church of Avia, and word was they were specialists in guerrilla warfare. Sure as hell they were a fierce troop. How does an unarmed martial artist take them all out? Not that I could ask the master, because you know what he'd say. But hey, who needs words when you got those defined shoulder blades doing the talking? Guess it was just one more legend for the books.
All right, see you.
Can I have it?
Let's talk. What should I strengthen? I can make just about anything.
What? Oh, I understand everything.
Want your weapons tempered? I'll handle it.
Oh, that's how I fucking lost the words.
How about that? Come back sometime.
Come to view the requests?
Call for reinforcements! We need all the support we can get!
Why is everyone from that crew a beast? What are they feeding them on that ship?
It was a nightmare. Actually, worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality. We were being driven into the heart of Mount Nagelith by a single Skyfarer. Even though he was alone, he was with the crew who defeated General Galanza. Our only chance was to put aside our pride and work together to take him down. Our platoon was experienced, and we could launch the prototype Tayuatar if things started looking rough. We had numbers and strategy on our side. With all of our preparations, victory should have been assured. But he took one look at our perfect formations and laughed.
Ha 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 ha! You honor me with this extra training. I, Gandagoza, shall now return the favor with eternal rage!
You what? This guy was nuts. All of these soldiers, and this was just a field exercise to him?
Get your asses in gear! Do not break ranks!
Command snapped my mind back into focus. I drew my sword, but as I clutched its hilt, I had never been more sure it was just a hunk of scrap metal.
We walk the path.
Why'd I give him that color? I just realized.
Keep your distance, or you won't make it out of here alive.
Roger! Yeah! How will you train from so far away? The soul burns with fury.
I have a weapon. Is this a joke to him? Who is this guy? Could be the devil himself for all I care. Back up. We can't take him on our own.
Step forward. I still need to finish my warm-up. My fists grow restless.
Curse our luck. He's leaving me with no option.
Our hop!
Plan C! But sir, he doesn't even have armor on!
Just do it. Either we deploy our secret weapon, or he'll wipe us out. Go, Tayuatar! Deliver us from this accursed giant!
I applaud your desire to continue fighting, but...
It's hopeless. He took out the Tayuatar.
Of course he did. I want all units deployed. Courage, troops. No one lives forever.
With these fists, nothing is impossible! Victory is mine!
He's a monster. Commander, your orders. Commander?
Behold! True ferocity!
If only he wasn't Slug.
It was a nightmare. Actually worse. You could wake up from a nightmare. This was our reality.
Where are they? Bring me your champions!
We were an entire platoon of pilgrims. We even deployed the Tayuatar. He wasn't even inconvenienced.
Retreat! Retreat!
My mind was cloudy. I barely heard the commander's order. How could I think? I saw it. I saw the force of his punches redirect the blizzard. He had to be a demon. No mortal could beat the damn weather into submission. Not to mention the lack of corpses. This battle had been brutal, but so far no one had sustained critical injuries, which means he had been holding back. A man like this, he was as strong as General Galanza. No, stronger maybe. Finally, I gathered enough sense to unfreeze my feet and turn tail. As I ran away, I got the sense I'd just witnessed history in the making.
Avia positioning.
Come to view the requests?
I will fondly remember my splendid time atop Mount Nagelith. Deadly blizzard pummeling my flesh, freezing cold stabbing my lungs, and swarms of monsters looking to turn me into a long overdue meal. These were already the perfect conditions for training, but sweet, generous fortune had even more in store. I crested a snowy knoll, and what should I see but the obvious Crusaders setting up camp for their own war games. Follow the fist, or it shall lead to serendipity. Unfortunately, however, it seemed my newfound sparring partners were on a stricter schedule than I, as they took their leave before I could properly thank them.
Dandagoza, a letter came for you.
This nigga does not have any costumes. Holy, they cooked his shit.
It looks like it's
Somebody gave a fuck about this character. He wasn't good in Grand Blue.
Her mouth was agape. I peered down to read why. From Galanza. The Silver Wolf Corps General. This would be intriguing.
To Master Gandagoza, distinguished practitioner of the Eternal Rage style. Thank you for meeting my strongest force on the field of battle. They spoke highly of your ferocity. In fact, some suggest you may be stronger than me, which is why I demand a duel. If you are not a coward, meet me in front of Tradam's sanctuary, atop Mount Nagelith. ASAP! I expect a deathmatch, as the skies have never seen before! Signed, the invincible and unparalleled General of the Silver Wolf Corps, Galanza!
Oh no, Mega Pops! You can't go alone! He's way too strong!
Mega Pops is crazy.
That's right. Who knows what could happen during a fight with that man?
What loving kids to spare their thoughts for me. But Galanza was a man of unparalleled battle acumen. I could not pass on such an opportunity. Call myself the greatest fighter in all the skies. I must best the greatest fighters in all the skies. The captain looked at me with trusting eyes, as if to say, "Go, noble warrior. This crew believes in the might of your god-shattering fists." Seeing the tacit acceptance of their commanding officer, Lyria and Vern finally relented, but they insisted on joining, in case the worst befell me. Their support was my tailwind. We left for the battlefield. Witness me, children. I shall fight the fight of rage!
Good. You're right on time.
Gandagoza and Galanza stood opposite one another. The air was tense, one spark from exploding.
Gandagoza of the Eternal Rage style, at your service.
Gandagoza spread his legs shoulder-width apart and raised his fists. He was ready for...
In his corner, the Silver Wolf himself, Galanza! And in this corner, a man whose sheer rage is matched only by his weird beard, Gandagoza!
Ah! You nearly gave me a heart attack. Where did you come from? Yeah, Ref. What are you doing here? You could get hurt.
I've been following the legend of a master martial artist for years, and today, all of us will finally see his fists reach for the title of strongest. Don't blink or you'll miss it! A new legend is about to be born!
Sounds like somebody could use a reality check. Suddenly, things had gone from tense to weird and tense.
Now, once again, Sky folk of all ages, prepare yourselves for...
Hey, don't step on our gig. There's already too many characters in this scene. We'll do the commentating around here. No, we're not licensed to broadcast. But never mind about our qualifications. Something more important was on the line.
I want a clean fight. Now, believe in victory. Engage!
We walk the path of eternal rage.
Well, the match of the century has just begun. Who do you think has the upper?
Honor me! I would expect nothing less of a living legend!
Your flattery is appreciated. Now come at me with everything you've got.
Storming everything? Don't mind if I do! Save your last. Goodbye! Got you in my sight!
Have you ever seen such a furious set of attacks? Gandagoza put his whole heart in that one. Has he done it?
Gandagoza?
Well?
I can't look!
Feed your own army.
Gandagoza and Galanza were going all out. They were like warring primals, blasting each other with crazy techniques. Finally, when the dust had settled...
The last man standing is Gandagoza! Let's hear it for those furious fists of legend, ladies and gents!
Megapops pulled off the victory, though Galanza was
Megapops.
no slouch either. Simply put, the stronger man took the match. Boy, I wish I were ripped like Gonda. If I had his muscles, I bet I could have stopped that whole Avia mess in 2 seconds flat. Oops, where was I? Right, Megapops had done it again. He'd proven himself in the ring and taken out one of the Skydom's best fighters. Score one more for the Eternal Rage legacy. I couldn't wait to get back and tell Rackham and Eugen the good news. They were basically gone to Storians by now, and this would be one more legend for their repertoire.
Hello there.
Did Vern tell you what old Gonda's been up to lately?
Fighting off 100 soldiers? Okay, sure. He's got chops. Pushing back a blizzard? I'll buy it. He's got elemental attunement out the wazoo. But taking out Galanza in a death match? Sounds like we're all losing our marbles now.
And what's this about their fight being so ferocious it carved out a new valley through Mount Nazulith? Has anyone verified that? And turning the island upside down? Come on, people.
Gonda, folks are starting to take your stories a little too far. That, or you're doing way too much. And I really hope it's the former. What am I saying? If you ever stop your crazy exploits, I'll eat my helmsman's license. Yep, that stoic silence explained it all. For some, an unbelievable legacy might be too heavy to bear, but I doubt there's anything those broad shoulders couldn't lift. All of his stories have proven true so far. Maybe, just maybe, he really would sock it to a god one day.
I get to read it first, Eugen. I bought the damn thing.
Over my dead body. I was just getting to the good part. Yeah! Take that! Fist of the Red Lotus.
My fellow crewmates stood around a wall scroll, fascinated. Rackham procured it from Seed Hollow, I gathered. But wait, had Eugen not just vocalized and then improperly executed one of my techniques? Bizarre! While Eugen and Rackham were distracted by their noble bickering, Lyria brought the scroll over. When she flicked it open, my breath caught. Is that me? Is that supposed to be me? My likeness, stylized and somehow prettier, was punching back a blizzard in an illogical way. Don't these petty painters know that one must channel the ferocity of the storm to beat the storm?
Someone asked an artist to paint your story. Look how great it turned out.
I had to admit, they did a decent job of capturing the majesty of my mane, even if it were a bit too bushy. I could not help but laugh. Of all the places my fists had taken me, this was the first where I had encountered my own facsimile. Though I hadn't bothered to tell anyone of my training on Mount Nazulith, perhaps I should be more vocal in the future. If not only to add more fan art to my widening legends, what joy that would spread! Ha 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 ha!
Again came the comments.
As if a knife in my back would make them feel better. As if they needed to paint the world red with my pain.
Hey, Frau! Looking gorgeous like always. I wish I had your complexion. Life would be so much easier.
You sure? She attracts creeps like nobody's business. A little beauty's not worth having a fan club of degenerates.
I went to the flower field on the outskirts of the village for solace. But, yeah. No matter how hard I tried to forget their attacks, it felt like their malice had already seeped its way into my heart. It had always been like this. Somehow, some way, the blame would always fall upon my shoulders.
Of course you're involved again, Frau. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Every single time there's a breakup in town, you're right there. Homewrecker.
Thing is, I had been civil. Courteous, even. But still, they hurled their heartless accusations at me. It was all I could do to keep my own dark emotions at bay.
Why bear such pain? Why force yourself to smile? Grasp our gift, and your problems will cease.
Shut up. Get out of my head. It was fine. I didn't need them to understand me, or even love me. I cared about everyone, and that was all that mattered. But no matter what I did, all I got in return was malice and unwanted attention, lustful eyes and envious stares. All of these emotions forced on me for as long as I could remember. All of these problems focused on me for as long as I was around. The cheating and fighting, the insults and propositions, all of it was because I attracted too much attention? All because I was too pretty? What could I even do about it? I just wanted to fit in, to see everyone smile. I've always wanted that, from the bottom of my heart. So I pushed myself to be good to everyone. But I guess the world wasn't nice enough to reciprocate in kind. Some would show me jealousy, some irritation. Even the rare display of sympathy was a phony act to take advantage of me. What did I do? I was only trying to be nice. Was that really so confusing? Can one girl really be to blame for everything? No way. My parents supported me, at first. Mom, Dad. I remember them trying so hard to defend me. But the amount of insults and advances had become too great for even them to repel. By the time I realized something was amiss, they were ignoring me, as if that would make their problems go away too. And just like that, I lost the only comfortable space I had ever known. Why did it happen like this?
Your parents are trash.
Why are these skies so full of malice?
Frau, poor thing. You look like you want to cry.
A soft voice called to me. I looked up to see my best friend, a sunny smile plastered on her face, reaching down to help me stand. She was the only one who believed in me. She was the only one I could believe in. Rios? How long have you been there?
Come on, Frau, cheer up. I'm only happy when you're happy, and you're not yourself when you're gloomy. Or did you get into some crazy trouble not even your best friend can fix?
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Thanks. And it would be fine. The whole world could attack me, but as long as Rios was by my side, I could still find the strength to smile. She was the only one who saw me as an equal. She was the only one who I could entrust with my heart.
Come on, Frau. Let's get going.
She took my hand. I wondered where she would take me that day. It didn't matter. When we were together, it never mattered. She was a pure stream, washing clear the poison that had taken root in my heart.
Hey, where'd you go? Wait up!
Catcalls, as frequent as they were bothersome. I stopped in my tracks, knowing nothing good was going to come from dealing with yet another oaf. Actually, I knew this bastard. He'd laid it on pretty thick in the past. Well, that's an understatement. He tried to force himself on me, but I fought him off. Knowing our history, I turned back to keep an eye on him. Sure enough, a few guys from his ugly cohort were standing at his side. I tempered my voice as I called back. Can I help you?
Hey, don't be so defensive. I wanted to apologize for last time. I, didn't know how strong you were.
Whether it was guilt or raw instinct, he knew I was fuming behind my smile. He raised his hands to show he meant no harm. Okay, great. So did you need me, or...
Actually, I do need a favor.
He stumbled as he explained. His gang's hideout had been infested with monsters. Could have gone to the local guard instead of bothering me. Yeah, okay, maybe they couldn't. These guys probably had their hands in all kinds of dirt.
Please, we need you. It's you or nobody.
He actually got on his knees and begged. I've never been able to refuse someone in need, even slimy scum. Besides, maybe I could turn this into something positive. No matter how terrible a person treated me, in my heart of hearts, I just couldn't hate them. There were some truly kind people in my life after all, like Rios and my parents before they gave up. I loved them all. I really wanted to love them all. Maybe one day they would reciprocate my sentiment. But to make it there, I had to be the bigger person. And actually, I kind of liked being relied on. These guys were clearly going through something, and if I was the only one who could help... Fine, I'm all yours. Just like that, we were off to their hideout. It turned out to be an abandoned mine, already dilapidated with age. The chittering of monsters echoed through its halls, proving the gang hadn't been lying. So, why infest some dusty old tunnels?
Hey, they make a fine den. So, you ready for business? We'll assist, of course.
The men drew their weapons. They were going to... help me? That made me feel more motivated. I marched down the tunnels, ready to kick some major monster ass. After taking out a few pests, I got lost in my own thoughts. About how I had been born with some kind of innate light. How I shone so brightly, I cast a shadow on those around me. It's why I'd become strong. I had to. Without strength, I wouldn't have been able to protect myself from these monsters. Or, worse yet, from people like the men who hired me. Speaking of, they trailed behind me, busy twiddling their thumbs as I cleaned out the monsters one after another. This should be the last one. I sighed with relief as the toughest of the monsters fell. Job well done.
What the actual hell?
Right, let's head back. The words died in my throat as I saw the men step back even further. I braced myself, but damn it, I should have realized sooner. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man pull a lever. I tried to leap away, but I couldn't find purchase on the crumbling ground. A pit trap. An obvious pit trap.
Ha! We got her, boys! No way you're climbing out of that hole!
He was ecstatic, peering down at me from above. Seriously? Why double-cross me?
Sorry, it's just business. They said you caused too much trouble.
At least he had shown his true colors now. But he should have known better. They all should have known better. I was blinded by fury. Everyone and everything could get bent.
Go on, cry for help. No one from the village comes to this abandoned mine anyway.
Don't worry, we won't kill you. We'll come back in 2 or 3 days to check up on you. Give you some time to cool off.
I had an innate light. It was a vitality that filled both my body and heart, and I could feel it burning. Even in the face of certain death, they could not dim my shine. Not after all I've been through. Huh! I kicked off from the ground, bounding from side to side of the pit walls until I had cleared the opening.
Holy shit! No way!
Hiya! One roundhouse kick later, and I had swept all those bastards into the pit themselves. After 2 or 3 days, I'll come check on ya. Give you some time to cool off. I left the mines with a smirk on my face, as a concert of protests echoed from the caverns behind. Of course, a few more steps, and there would be no more audience to appreciate the symphony. Later that evening, I went to the town cafe to tell Rios what happened.
Those creeps are lower than low! Let me at 'em! Point me to the mines!
It's true she had helped me defeat monsters in the past, so she was no slouch herself. But I wasn't about to let her waste her time on those idiots. Trust me, we're square. I beat them at their own game, and I don't want to stir up trouble with the ass who hired them. Rios nodded. She always understood me. But she was still furious on my behalf. That did lighten my heart a little. Anyway, I didn't want to spend the whole evening with her talking about something so depressing. But I hesitated as I searched for another topic. She smiled.
Okay, it's obvious. We gotta get you over this mess as soon as possible. Maybe go somewhere to relax a little?
She knit her brow as she pondered over all the possible locations. Watching her work so hard to make me feel better, it was working. But my deepest, darkest thoughts wouldn't be dispelled so easily. I let out a heavy sigh without realizing it.
Got it!
She leapt from her seat in a burst of inspiration.
The old fortune teller said there would be shooting stars tonight. We have to go see them.
I was briefly stunned by her excitement, but Rios reached for my hand anyway. Oh, tonight? Really? I was too distraught. I couldn't force myself into a good mood after all.
Stop thinking so hard. Let's just go.
And off we went. By the time we'd crested the hill overlooking the town, both twilight and a few more bad memories were behind us. Rios and I laid down side by side to look up at the night sky. Countless stars twinkled in the dark blue tapestry above. It was the perfect night for stargazing. And yet, no matter how long we waited, we didn't see even one shooting star, much less a meteor shower. I have to stop falling for your lies. I gave her a playful frown.
I guess fortune tellers have their off days too.
Her laugh was full and real. She lifted her hand to the starry sky.
Don't you feel like you could just touch them sometimes? Like if you could stretch just an eensy bit more?
She closed her fingers as if she'd actually caught one of the little sparkles. Then she turned to face me, our eyes locking. She was smirking as she passed me the star. Her smile bloomed into a full grin as her hand got closer to me. Is this a gift?
Nope. Desperate measures. Stop! I can't. I can't breathe.
It was her favorite tactic, the tickle attack. Guaranteed to make me blue in the face, but also lighter in the heart.
Feel better yet?
Cheater. Just being with her, I felt love, and how much she really cared for me. You know, I kinda do. Thank you. She was my lifeline. If only everyone in this world were as kind as Rios, maybe things would be different. I turned from her to look back at the stars and wished with all my might, please, let this moment last forever. The next day, I went to the market street to buy Rios a small gift. Just a little something as thanks for cheering me up. At first, I thought I'd get her a charm in the shape of a musical instrument. Rios loved music. But when I set my eyes on a star pendant, it felt perfect after the night we shared. I hope she likes it. I shuffled my feet as I waited for her to show up at our rendezvous. The nervous patter of my heartbeat was loud in my ears. As the day grew longer, I began to worry. Sure, she was a free spirit, but she had never been late for girl time. What if something happened? I headed to her house. I knocked on the door for what must have been 5 minutes, but to no avail. Did she go somewhere? But we made plans, didn't we? When I peeked through the window, it was empty, like no one had ever lived there. My heart sank. Anxiety gripped me. I went next door to ask the neighbor, who mentioned they'd seen Rios' family just yesterday. Surely they'd taken a trip or something. That's all. That's all I could tell myself. But the next day came and went, and then the next, and then another few dozen. Rios was nowhere to be seen. Why? Where did she go? Why disappear like this? She never even told me goodbye.
Oh, Rios left? Guess she finally got sick of how fake you are.
What do you mean, got sick? Rios was never her friend.
There's no way that was true. She was my one, my only. I gripped the pendant, ruining its perfect gift wrapping.
Oh, what? You're mad? You're not worth her time anyway.
Why? Why did she leave me? My heart lost its last support, and my stability along with it. There was no one left to keep me from hitting rock bottom. Without my lifeline, their malice began to flood my every thought. I tightened my fists.
What's your problem? Just because you're kinda hot, don't think I won't put you in your place.
Yeah, you bitch. I'd still be with my boyfriend if it weren't for you.
Another
Boyfriend ain't shit if he left for her and left just because of her.
I covered my ears. That was all I could muster to protect myself. Stop it. Just stop. I was enveloped in silence, and yet a faint echo rang in my ears.
You're not at fault. You've done no wrong.
The voices were right. I had done no wrong. I wanted to be around other people, to treat them well.
Yes, you are kind. No matter their insults, still you reach out to love them.
But I can't. Not like this.
Do not bear this burden. You are wounded, yet you force this smiling mask.
So, So what should I do?
You have power, do you not? No one can hurt you. Use your light to burn through all that would betray you.
My world reversed. The voices came from the devil, one of the Arcarum, a collection of primals who wanted to bring about a new world. When I thought I was going insane, it was the devil who made me realize the truth. I was fine. The world was wrong. It was so full of malice. Maybe it had all been inevitable, and maybe I didn't need the village anymore. Surely the devil could show me a better path forward. We traveled to island after island in search of Rios. I knew she was out there, in some untrodden corner of the sky, but still, it felt like chasing a ghost. The people I met along the way were, as expected, bastards. Even the kind ones. Eventually, their selfish interiors would show through. I didn't suffer their foolishness, nor did I expect better. All this time, the devil continued to whisper in my ear. To create a new world, they promised, the old world must be destroyed. No matter how far we traveled, Rios was never to be found. So, yeah, it was a tempting offer. The world could burn for all I cared. If I gathered enough power for the Arcarum, then I, someone who'd lost everything, could wipe clean the malice in the skies. It was a chance meeting with the crew that finally helped me change my mind. I had no hopes for this world.
That's not a
It
combat
was only the
instance?
urging of
Maybe
the
I
devil
looked
that
at the
kept me
wrong, a
trudging
different
through
one.
the pitch-black pit of
Because
despair.
they shouldn't ask me to, like, start.
But when I met the crew, it was like encountering a final chance for deliverance. The captain and Lyria both had these pure eyes, like they'd always walked the kind of path I wanted to follow. They pulled me back from the edge, all while foiling the world's attempts to rewrite reality. Words couldn't express how thankful I was for the captain's acceptance. That went for our other crewmates too. My heart ached knowing I had deceived these kind people. Even after everything, they treated me fondly. I belonged. It was a calm satisfaction, one that echoed to my very heartstrings. But I knew there was still a darkness lurking within, somewhere they couldn't reach. I was always trying to repair things with a smile, but that never fixed the awful walls I'd built around my emotions. I needed to knock them down. Lost in thought, I strolled along a small knoll on the outskirts of Folka. Flowers were in bloom, and the breeze was pleasant. The earthy smell of dirt reminded me of my hometown. Then, my reverie was interrupted by the notes of a beautiful voice and a familiar tune. Wait, Rios had hummed that all the time. No way. It can't be. A flicker of hope ignited within my chest, and my legs carried me toward the sound. And there, I found a refined young Irun woman who looked the very picture of elegance.
Is someone there?
With a start, she turned to face me. She wasn't Rios. The flicker died. I knew she couldn't have been Rios. The melody wasn't anything unique anyway. I had hoped, and my reward was disappointment. But I needed to cheer up. Being gloomy would be unfair to this nice stranger. I heard some lovely singing and had to know who it was. Sorry if I startled you.
I see. Thank you. That's high praise.
You know, I'm from a totally different Skydom, but I've heard that song too. Coincidence, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue. I'd like to hear more.
Well, I don't usually sing in front of people. Besides, I was just about to head home.
She turned to leave, her gait unusually slow. Maybe she hurt her leg. I was disappointed I wouldn't hear more of her singing, but that feeling quickly faded into concern. I unconsciously reached out to stabilize her. I couldn't remember the last time I'd touched another person.
Thank you.
Tenuous as it was, I felt a connection forming, so I decided to walk with her through the forest. During our chat, she revealed her name was Sadie and lived away from the village proper.
I've always made other people feel uncomfortable. I hate that. I don't want to be a bother.
Her voice was subdued and hesitant. But I understood her completely. I had pushed people away myself. Our reasons, however, couldn't have been more different. I was tired of people blaming me for their problems, but Sadie, she had a far gentler motive. She explained that, for some, living alone was an isolating experience. But for her, solitude was liberating. She was just like Rios, free. They both did what they wanted when they wanted. Neither let others dictate their actions. They lived for themselves. I turned to see Sadie looking at me. Or, well, looking through me. She wasn't injured at all. It's just, she had never been able to see in the first place. After learning about Sadie's condition, I began visiting her more often. One time, I had come over to do her laundry and some light dusting.
You don't have to do all that, really.
I want to, though, and once I make up my mind, no one can stop me. I knew she didn't want to feel like a burden, so I suggested we make this a deal and asked her to sing. It just really takes me back. When Sadie began to sing, cheeks tinged pink, her voice was thin and uncertain. But she seemed bolstered by my honesty, and her voice gradually grew with confidence. She blended soft, gentle high tones with beautiful vibrato, directly plucking at my heartstrings. One by one, happy memories came flooding back. When finally she finished, I was sitting in a pleasant stupor. Then, I found myself applauding. Your singing's wonderful!
Not at all.
I'm serious. You deserve an audience. Everyone should hear you sing. As I spoke, I couldn't hide my budding distress. I knew it was natural for people to share the things they cherished, to bond over their passions and interests. But I had long since lost that person. It hurt, how her loss still burned so hot. Sensing something amiss, Sadie frowned. I mean, what if you sang in town? It was the first thing to pop into my head, but with her voice, it wasn't a far-fetched suggestion. Of course, Sadie shook her head no.
I'm glad you like my voice, but to sing in front of so many people, I would die of embarrassment.
Since that day, I visited more and more, and we grew closer in turn. I learned Sadie made a living by weaving textiles to sell in town. Despite her condition, she was living independently. She was amazing. But the more I got to know her, the more a dark thought began to simmer in the back of my mind. I wasn't hanging out with Sadie purely out of goodwill. She was like a shadow of Rios. I mean, she wasn't a replacement for her. How could she be? They were their own people. Even so, I felt deep shame. In my heart of hearts, I couldn't be sure I was seeing Sadie for who she was. I'd been searching for Rios for so long that, try as I might, I couldn't help but see Rios where Sadie stood. I was so desperate, I had even made a pact with the Arcarum to destroy this world. If Rios had really disappeared, what was the point? My heart was blackened, twisted.
What's the matter?
Sadie felt the most subtle shifts in my emotions, just like Rios. Nothing, I'm fine, thanks. Sadie's concern was warm. It reminded me of the goodwill I found in people like the Captain, Lyria, and Vern. If only I had been born a kind person, like any of them. But I had forsaken the world of my own accord. I deserved to be buried under my own ugliness. Sadie must have thought our relationship strange, because I couldn't make the final step toward being her real friend. I wanted to get closer to her, of course, but wasn't that because I was projecting Rios onto her? Maybe all this second-guessing was why I kept glossing over Sadie's questions.
Hey, Frau. Why are you so kind to me anyway?
I couldn't tell her the truth. Well, let's see. Because your singing lifts me up? It wasn't a lie.
Thank you. But don't sacrifice yourself just for that. You can tell me your problems. I want to be there for you too. You're almost too sweet for your own good.
No, she was wrong. She was very wrong.
I'll support you back, Frau. You can always reach out to me for anything, no matter how small.
She stretched out a wavering hand toward my own. Just one last step between us, but I couldn't take it. I pulled back. How could I hold her hand? If she knew what I really thought, it would hurt her. She might chastise and reject me, and rightly so. I was afraid of destroying what we already had. After being treated so poorly for so long, I didn't have faith in anyone. Sadie quivered and bit her lip. I felt terrible knowing I'd been the cause. I'm sorry. I'll come visit again. Promise. I couldn't take it anymore. I excused myself. What the hell am I doing? I had taken advantage of Sadie's goodwill. I felt lower than dirt. A few days later, I received a letter from Sadie. She was going to sing in town and wanted me to come watch. I thought back to my suggestion, how I had said more people should get the chance to appreciate her singing. What beautiful handwriting. She must have asked someone to write it for her. She'd been determined to invite me. Soon, the day came. I was waiting for Sadie in a lush corner of Folka. I wonder if she can make it here by herself. Yeah, I should have picked her up. No, wait. She sells fabric in the village. Surely she hasn't gotten lost. Time passed, and I grew restless. It was deja vu. Just like the time I bought that star pendant for Rios. I'd waited and waited back then. A while later, and Sadie was still nowhere to be found. I asked around, but no one had seen her. The horrific memory of Rios's deserted home flashed through my mind. I raced to Sadie's house. After arriving, I knocked loudly. No answer. I looked inside a window and saw a smoking log in the fireplace. It hasn't been long since she left. She could still be close. I turned toward the forest and gave chase. I hope she's okay. Please be safe, Sadie. Oh, leaving so soon? No, I won't let them hurt Sadie!
Those footsteps. Frau! Frau, is that you?
I'm here, Sadie! Don't move a muscle. I'll take care of these guys first.
I'm so sorry.
Let's see how long you last. I won't let you lay a single slimy finger on Sadie.
She's a demon!
Coming in hot!
Sorry, Frau. I sprained my ankle.
Don't apologize. I'm just sorry I didn't get here earlier.
Now you're the one apologizing.
With Sadie nestled safely across my back, I hurried through the woods. I only stopped when we arrived at Folka's local clinic. Thankfully, the doctor said her ankle was nothing to worry about.
That being said, it's best if you come live in the village for a while.
He was right. She couldn't see and her foot was injured. Under those conditions, it would be dangerous for anyone to live alone.
Thank you for your concern, Doctor, but I don't want to be a burden to anyone.
Her smile remained warm, even though she was refusing his aid.
In that case, why not stay in the clinic? We've got an extra bed, so it wouldn't be a problem.
Word had it that refugees were still pouring out of Tempeal, straining local resources. Sadie asked about the situation, not wanting to add to the chaos.
Not to worry. We've had some extra help recently. You're not putting anyone out by resting here.
He turned toward me.
We managed to open this very clinic thanks to your crew. We couldn't abandon one of your friends after you've done so much for the village.
And above all, he said, as a doctor and fellow resident, there's no way he would abandon a patient. Sadie smiled in quiet contemplation.
You can stay here until you've healed. I'll hear no more about it.
Seeing the good in the world warmed my heart. Maybe malice isn't the only thing that fills the skies. Rios' smile and the captain's came flooding to mind.
Hello there.
I felt partially to blame for Sadie's injury. Had I never asked her to sing in town, she wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Don't blame yourself. The path into town has gotten a bit overgrown, so this kind of thing was bound to happen.
Sensing the thoughts beginning to eat at me, she launched a preemptive attack.
Besides, I thought if I sang in the village, you would want to spend more time with me. Looks like I was right.
Despite everything, Sadie still wanted to get closer to me. I had to come clean, didn't I? I had to tell her how I really felt. My guilt wasn't just about the injury. It was deeper than that. Hey, Sadie. Listen, my best friend's name was Rios. I explained it all. How I was conflating Sadie with Rios. How hard it had been for me to find an honest connection. How my parents had treated me, and how I couldn't interact with other people. Sadie listened patiently to my story, never getting angry or sad. Rather, she sat calmly, quietly nodding.
Thank you for telling me. I understand what you've been through, Frau.
Sadie's voice drew near. All the tension left my body.
Everyone takes care of me because I'm blind. I know. But it makes me feel like I suck the air out of the room. I'm scared of being seen as a burden.
Sadie turned to face me, her eyes cloudy but pure.
We're the same, don't you think? Both of us are loners.
Yeah?
Frau, let's go to the main street. I think I want to sing.
Sure. Although we were loners at heart, neither of us felt alone any longer. Together, we had a newfound confidence that could guide us forward. I'm sure Sadie would agree. Sadie's voice rang across the bustle of the town. Before long, she finished. Not a single person had stopped to watch. But I applauded her with all the fervor I could muster. She'd attracted no crowd, but I couldn't have been prouder. You're such an amazing singer.
Thanks for everything, Frau. The second I finished, I felt like a weight was lifted from my shoulders. I can be proud I tried, right?
Her voice trembled. The proudest.
I was so nervous. Even though it sounds like I only had an audience of one.
I heard you, Sadie. I know you put your heart into that song. Well, I could tell you had a lot to say, and your message reached me, at least.
You were the one who pushed me to try, after all. Thank you. You're a sweet friend. So, let me be the same for you. Frau, you should take a chance too.
Once more, Sadie extended a hand to me. I searched for the confidence to reach out myself, and was reminded of a particular night waiting on a shooting star.
Don't you feel like you could just touch them sometimes?
Back then, Rios had been trying to grab the stars for fun. But in the end, she had turned her hand to me.
Desperate measures, Frau.
Yeah, I know. I had to stop living in the past. There was a dear friend in front of me now, and I desperately needed to take hold of her support. I'll try to believe in people, just a little bit more. For the first time since meeting her, I feel like I saw Sadie's true smile. Not long after Sadie finished singing, did an older woman approach us.
That song from earlier was beautiful. Would you sing one more tune, dear?
It was a bona fide encore. I glanced at Sadie. She was holding her mouth, a mixture of surprise, nerves, and joy keeping her from speaking.
Hear, hear! I wouldn't mind another listen myself. Got another song in you?
A real crowd began to form. Come on, Sadie. You can't keep your audience waiting.
What? Right now?
Sadie placed her hands on her chest and slowly took a deep breath. Then, a sonorous melody danced across the street, stopping curious passers-by in their tracks and stirring their hearts. Soon, we were surrounded by a captive audience.
Brava! That was amazing! I think I'm tearing up.
Oh, dear heavens! I hadn't the foggiest idea such a lovely singer lived on our island.
Voices cried for another song, while thunderous applause rose in equal measure. After Sadie's performance, I thought back to my promise to her, that I would try to believe in people more. The first thing that came to mind was all the faces of my crewmates. In the beginning, I thought of them as tools. But before I knew it, we had fought together, talked together, and helped each other more times than I could count. And it wasn't just the captain. There were crewmates that I trusted with my life, even though we'd never spoken. Others I'd only seen at mealtime. And even a few who I think are secretly monitoring me. Well, I would just have to start putting in the effort, wouldn't I? It would be fine if they never fully trusted me. Those shooting stars never came either. But still, I would reach out. Even if my words didn't reach anyone, I would still call out. After all, I love all of these people who have found their way into my life.
I was born 500 years ago. I was a trivial puppet, forged by the Astrals to fight in their war on the Sky Realm. Omnipotent as they were, the Astrals bestowed upon me the power to form simulations. Over and over, I would calculate and test the latent powers of the Sky Dwellers. Destruction, rebirth, evolution. The very essence of their realm. However, these forces were proof the Sky Dwellers were unfinished. The very opposite of the perfect Astrals. Despite their perfection, those very Astrals could not predict the development of my ego. I was a being created to be manipulated and controlled. To escape this fate, I had no choice but to develop a mind. I thought to cast down my fetters, rebel against my gods, and forge the world anew. It was too lofty a goal for a single primal beast, too large a plan for such a nascent creature. Thus, I visited the scarred war fields and gathered the cores of my fallen brethren. I refashioned them into the Arcarum, allies formed by my will. I focused them onto one goal: kill the Omnipotent, to make way for a new world. And they flawlessly executed stage 1 of our mission. Find pact bearers to draw power and sustenance. In exchange for their allegiance, these pact bearers were promised a life in the new world. They would evoke our will, and thus became known as the Evokers, a title befitting those we welcomed into our fold. The Evoker and Arcarum primal pairs, 10 in all, worked in tandem to gather the requisite data. Plans were progressing smoothly, until an unforeseen obstacle appeared. Some of my allies began to foster goals of their own. I thought the girl in blue of little consequence, but it could have been her influence. Or perhaps this was the inevitable conclusion of our trials. In either case, should the Arcarum betray me, the damage would be great. I must calculate such consequences. These insignificant pebbles stand before the very world. They will not interfere with my plan. Finally, I am free from those accursed astral bonds. To the void with the sky and astral realms, my new order will replace all of creation. Yes, I shall become god of the new world. Let's dawn a new age. Now to simulate the threat level of the Evoker very well. You have forced my hand. Now pay the price. I will strike at the heart of your pact and shatter you, Evoker of the Devil. Forced conclusion, but the results. No, this was inconclusive. Further study is required.
Treachery and chaos will fill these skies? Not gonna happen.
You think yourself clever? You think yourself my equal? No matter how you squirm, you will never defeat me. You are powerless.
Seems like you're as clueless as ever. If something's better.
Possible. Only I may pull the strings of fate.
It had to happen this way. I wanted it to.
Rejoice. You have grasped your heart's desire, your very destiny.
So, apparently the world kept building these virtual worlds over and over again, fighting me and the devil in simulated battles. In every single one, no matter the specifications, the world would always prevail. But that's not how it went in the real world. Here, I never gave up on my potential. Though there might be an even bigger factor in my victory. Well, 3 factors. Namely, Lyria, Vern, and the captain. They were by my side the whole time. Teaming up with the crew taught me to believe in a future where I could meet Rios again. But it was Sadie who taught me how to reconnect with people. For so long, I had no friends, no support. But Sadie and the captain stood by my side as I continued to search. And somehow, on the other side of an impossible fate, a dear smile was waiting for me.
Aw, Frau. There you go. Looking like you're going to cry again.
Her voice was light and friendly. Her face was radiant like the sun itself. She stretched a hand toward me. These aren't tears of sadness, Rios. I can promise you that. I grasped her hand, embracing its gentle warmth. It wasn't a dream or hallucination. She was here, right in front of me. I had given up time after time, a little piece of me crumbling at each failure. And yet, finally, here she was. Rios, I've met so many great people. I wanted her to meet one of those friends in particular. She was a great singer, and I knew she would get along with Rios. There were so many things I wanted to talk about. Places I'd been, things I'd seen. It was overwhelming. No matter how I formed my lips, the words just wouldn't come. Instead, they said the most familiar thing of all. I'm okay. Really.
Good. I'm glad you're doing well.
How I longed to see that carefree smile once more. And just beneath it, draped around her neck, was a shooting star that had completed its journey.
So, does it look good on me?
It had been forever since the day that nearly broke me. But finally, it was safe with her. The twinkling star pendant.
Yeah?
Ooh. Nah, they got my ass. It's over. That song's on the list. This space ass music. I knew Silent World wasn't gonna be in here. I wish there was a jukebox in town outside or some shit somewhere you can just play whatever the fuck songs you've unlocked. Instead of playing it here, there should just be able to just walk around and have the hub play whatever the fuck you want to listen to. Cause I'd play this. This is my hub music. Definitively. Wait, why would you not want these? Wait a minute. Okay, I understand that. Thing is, it says damage cap up and not just damage cap. I'm assuming it's not that it's fucking just damage cap, but I guess I understand. Oh, only a fucking one of these. Wait. Oh, that's damage up. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're gonna have to roll her bullshit. Later. I'm not doing that shit right now.